Mercy Health St. Mary's has the only adult renal transplant program in Michigan west of Ann Arbor. The people who are eligible for a kidney transplant are those whose kidneys have failed, who are good enough health to withstand an operation, because it is a big surgery.
The St. Mary's Kidney Transplant Program has been in existence for 40 years, and we focus on adult kidney transplants. So it's a single organ program. We just do kidneys, but we're very proud of our program and its existence long term with incredible outcomes.
People with renal failure either have to be on peritoneal or hemodialysis. So with hemodialysis, they go to a center or do it at home, but they're doing at least 4 hours, 3 times a week. They're tied up at a center. If they're on peritoneal dialysis, they're often doing it all night or intermittently during the day.
It's not a very normal physiologic way of life, and so life on chronic dialysis is difficult. Transplantation with a kidney offers near complete replacement of kidney function. You're only replacing one kidney, but it really allows people to obtain a normal lifestyle. There are criteria as far as the severity of kidney function that you must meet to be a candidate for a kidney transplant. But anybody who has end-stage kidney failure, we will consider if they're a candidate for a transplant.
A couple years ago, 2012, all of a sudden my numbers were going it started going more progressively bad, and that was the first time I was told, that I would probably have to have either a transplant soon or go on dialysis. My brother Rick's always been pretty healthy, and he's always been somebody that would do anything for you.
When she called last, I think it was late June, she asked me if I'd be a donor. And I called her back in about 5 or 10 minutes later and said it was I'd do it.
He was pretty much a perfect match, so they scheduled the surgery.
As far as the surgery went, I think it was probably only about 45 minutes for my part, and then they had to take the kidney over to her room where she was right next door in a different operating room to receive it.
Everything went well after that. I got up right away that night, and I feel great, and I'm so appreciative of my brother for giving me his kidney.
There are way more patients that want kidneys than there are kidneys available. That's why the waiting list is 5 years in Michigan, because every year about 20% of the people on the list get a kidney. Then the 20% behind them move up, they'll get the kidney next year, and if we had more kidneys, there would be a shorter waiting list.
One of the focuses for Mercy Health St. Mary's Kidney Transplant Program is that we're really trying to improve and increase our living donor patient population.
Living donor has the best results because in the way that we do it, we actually have 2 teams working in 2 ORs side by side, so that a surgeon's eyes are never off these kidneys. When the kidney comes out of the donor, we transfer it directly from surgeon to surgeon. It never leaves our sight.
With a living donor transplant, most of the time the kidney starts working right away, and we can predict, for example, at our program, probably 85% of the patients that get a kidney transplant from a living donor scheduled on a Monday morning are out the door by Friday afternoon. With deceased donor transplants, the hospital stay can be quite variable.
When a patient receives a call that we have a kidney for them, it's very exciting, both for them and for us. We've known these patients for many years in most situations, and along with that patient, we've been hoping for that call to come to them. So when we are able to finally deliver the news that we have a kidney for them, we get excited together, and a lot of times there's some cheering that's going on both sides of the phone.
I think that's what makes our program very unique. The one thing I hear patients say over and over here is that when I came, I felt like a person. I have to tell you, the staff here is incredible, from our surgeons, our nephrologists, to our nursing staff, our financial coordinator, our social workers. We have pharmacists that are actively involved in the care of the patient. So it's a very multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary team.
The goal to us is to get people back to work and fully invested in society, and it's just very rewarding to do that.
I love coming into work every day. I love being able to call patients and tell them that this call that you've been waiting for 7 years is here. It's a very rewarding experience to be a part of that life-changing event for people.
I love it. To see the recipients excited for a better life for them. And then working with donors, they're amazing people. They're almost always more concerned about the recipient than they are themselves.
You know, this whole process of donating a kidney is like a miracle because, you know, you're basically, you know, giving life to another person, and, you know, allows them to live a higher quality of life too. And that's very encouraging for the donor and the recipient.
Now I'm doing great. I'm going to the Y, and I just feel so much better. It's great.
To think that there are people out there that are so selfless that they would give one of their kidneys to someone else just to make someone else's life better, I think is amazing.